The incident we'll talk about today begins with something so breathtaking, so strange, and so utterly beyond the scope of ordinary science that even NASA's most advanced astronomers were left whispering in hushed tones across their dimly lit control rooms, because hidden beyond the cold, distant edge of our solar system, past Pluto's icy orbit where sunlight weakens into a faint memory and the interstellar winds howl in silence, their instruments detected signals that suggested the presence of something impossible, a colossal planetary body, massive, dark, and strangely concealed, orbiting in the vast emptiness where no planet was ever expected to exist. And as the data streamed in from multiple deep space telescopes, scientists realized they might be staring at the first undeniable evidence of an unknown planet lurking beyond the frontier of our familiar solar system. A world that had remained unseen for billions of years, shrouded in mystery, yet tugging subtly on the gravity of known celestial bodies, bending light, warping orbits, and whispering its hidden presence like a ghost in the mathematics of the universe, because for decades researchers had speculated about a so-called Planet 9, an unseen giant whose gravity might explain odd movements of comets and the strange tilts of Kuiper belt objects. And now, for the first time, it seemed that speculation had transformed into terrifyingly real discovery, as images from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope began to reveal faint distortions, shimmering patterns of light against the star field, shapes that were not stars themselves but something vast and opaque moving slowly, deliberately, across the cosmic backdrop. And when they enhanced those images, they saw a dark sphere edged with a faint bluish glow, rotating with unsettling calmness, its size estimated to be at least 10 times larger than Earth, possibly even greater, making it a monstrous presence hiding in the darkness like a secret guardian at the edge of our solar domain. And yet this was no ordinary planet, because its signals were unlike anything they had ever seen. Strange radio pulses echoed faintly from its direction, low hums vibrating in mathematical sequences, almost as if the planet itself was broadcasting some hidden language into the void. And deep within NASA's headquarters in Washington, a debate erupted. Was this truly a planet of natural origin, a massive world that had somehow escaped detection all these centuries? Or was it something far stranger, an artificial construct, or even worse, a captured object from another star system that had wandered into ours long before human history began? And as they compared the anomalies, their fear grew, because every calculation showed that this planet's orbit was unstable, not following the neat elliptical paths of other worlds but instead wobbling, twisting, suggesting that it was not bound forever to the sun but perhaps only temporarily captured, a visitor from beyond. And if so, then where had it come from and what had it brought with it? Questions that gnawed at the very foundations of astronomy. While outside the observatories, the public had no idea that somewhere beyond the stars visible to the naked eye, a giant planet loomed unseen, its presence so powerful that even the faintest gravity readings from Pluto's orbit bent toward it. And yet scientists hesitated to release the findings, fearing panic, because this planet was not only unknown, it was dangerous, its very presence suggesting a chaotic history of collisions and gravitational disturbances. And then came the chilling revelation. The planet was not dark because it was made of ordinary rock or gas. It was dark because it absorbed almost all light, reflecting nearly nothing, cloaked like a shadow against the stars, and the few emissions that escaped were faint infrared glows, like the dying embers of a furnace hidden beneath a thick veil, meaning the world was still active, still radiating heat, as though something within its core was alive or burning. And as NASA's team pushed their instruments further, trying to peer into the veil, they noticed structures in orbit around it, tiny pinpoints of reflected light moving in perfect synchronization, as if moons, but too symmetrical, too exact, raising the horrifying question, was this unknown planet truly a natural body? Or was it surrounded by something artificial, a construction of unimaginable scale, perhaps ancient, perhaps alien, orbiting silently in the abyss, waiting? And the more they stared, the more the mystery deepened, because gravitational readings suggested the planet's density was impossibly high, not consistent with a gas giant or rocky world, almost as if it was made of some unknown matter, a core so dense that it bent space around it in subtle ripples, distortions that danced across the field of stars like invisible waves. And suddenly old myths resurfaced in hushed whispers, tales from ancient civilizations about a hidden world beyond the known planets, a bringer of chaos, a wandering god of destruction that returned every few thousand years. And while the scientists kept their faces calm, deep down a primal fear stirred. Because what if humanity had just rediscovered not merely a planet, but something far older, something that civilizations before ours might have known, worshipped, or feared? A planet that had drifted into myth because its orbit kept it away for millennia. And now it was back, detected at last with modern machines, yet holding secrets that defied understanding. And while NASA prepared a confidential report for world leaders, strange anomalies began happening closer to Earth. Satellites picked up faint interference in their signals, telescopes malfunctioned when pointed in its direction, and even ground-based instruments detected low-frequency vibrations humming faintly through the Earth itself, as if this unknown planet's very presence was sending out ripples not only in space but in the fabric of reality itself. And the more they tracked its orbit, the more disturbing the truth became. It was moving closer, its elongated trajectory pulling it inward toward the sun, not tomorrow, not next year, but inevitably. And when it drew near, it would not only disrupt comets and asteroids but possibly destabilize the delicate balance of our solar system, a balance that kept Earth safe for billions of years. And thus, in that moment, what NASA had uncovered was not merely an unknown planet. It was a cosmic omen, a looming shadow that had hidden for eons, and now, slowly, silently, inexorably, was returning to the heart of our solar system, carrying with it the unanswered question: what exactly was this planet, and what awaited us when it arrived? What awaited us when it arrived was not just a scientific puzzle but a terrifying uncertainty that sent shivers through every conference room, laboratory, and observatory monitoring the planet's trajectory. Because as NASA ran simulations again and again on their most powerful supercomputers, the predictions became increasingly alarming. This was not a body that would simply pass harmlessly at the far edge of the solar system and vanish back into the void. No, this world was coming inward step by step, orbit by orbit, its immense gravity twisting the Kuiper belt, tugging comets out of their ancient resting places, sending icy missiles toward the inner planets like cosmic warnings. And the further they projected its course, the more the possibility emerged that this was no random wanderer but something moving with intent, as if the unknown planet followed a path laid out long before human civilization had even begun. And while astronomers tried to calm themselves with the language of physics, mass, density, trajectory, inclination, there was an unspoken fear that what they were witnessing was far beyond ordinary science, for the closer their instruments looked, the more anomalies appeared, strange flashes of energy pulsing from the planet's surface in intervals that mirrored prime numbers, patterns that no random geological or atmospheric activity could explain. And as the data grew stranger, the whispers grew louder. Was this truly a planet, or was it something else entirely? Something masquerading as a planet, cloaked in the disguise of cosmic dust and darkness, hiding its true form until the moment was right. And what if that moment was approaching now? Because in the deep chambers of NASA where classified reports circulated, analysts began noting an unnerving pattern. Every time the planet rotated, faint distortions rippled outward, distortions that did not behave like natural electromagnetic bursts but like signals, deliberate signals. And when they cross-referenced them with ancient SETI archives of unexplained radio pulses, a shocking correlation appeared. These were not new, they had been faintly recorded decades ago, dismissed as noise. But now they aligned perfectly with the orbit of this world, as if it had been whispering to us all along from the shadows, testing our awareness, waiting until our technology was advanced enough to finally hear it. And when this realization hit, the implications were too great to keep contained, yet too terrifying to announce publicly. Because how could humanity be told that an unknown planet, potentially artificial, possibly inhabited, was moving toward us, sending coded signals across the void?